Hello and welcome to another video. This is video number 10. We're going to be talking about logical operators in Excel. These are, we could go over and talk about 4 if we wish, but we're going to focus on 2 for this video. And we quickly mention the others. And this is and or. So the first one is and. And as you have noticed before, just to show you why we need something like that, the fact that so far we have done a decision basically with a if statement, if you notice, based on a single variable. But what about if 2 or 3 or who knows how many variables or values need to be satisfied in order for something to be taking place in the real world? For example, in this list of data, in order for a person to get into a program of some sort or training, whatever the reason for that, the person has to get a score higher than or equal to 80 and must have the waiver. So both these variables must be true in this case in order for that person to get the enrollment. Let's say here enroll. So the fact that these two must be true, or I'm not saying one of them, both of them must be true, then we have to think about how to link these two values through the use of logical operator like and or. Of course, once we realize the difference between those, we will know we need to choose and because everything must be true. So with and, which is a logical operator, this is a follow-up on the discussion we had earlier when we talked about arithmetic operators. We used the rule of order. Then we moved into relational operator, the greater than, less than, greater than equal, less than or equal, not equal, and equal. Those are relational operators. They're all very powerful operator. We use them every day in all sorts of calculation. With and or, we need, those are logical. They used for combining conditions. So let's go ahead and take a look at the and see how we're going to work it. But before we do it in Excel, let's go ahead and build a better understanding in how the and works. If I have a universal set, regardless of, let's go ahead and do it. So actually a universal set, and I have two set here. We have A and B. All right. Then I wanted to see where does the area that fits the and B. Obviously, this is the one right here. So you notice when I do and B, the area must belong to both sets, the A and B. Of course, A by itself is not going to cut it. B by itself is not going to cut it. So it has to be A and B. And this here, anywhere here on the universal, outside of those two sets, that means neither one of them is going to be true. So in order for me to get with the and true, both of them must be true. So there is a quick introduction we could say here. If the first condition is a true and the second condition is a true, obviously we're going to get a true. So this is going to help us quickly to refresh our memory. Of course, we don't need to use, I'm going to use that single quotes at the beginning of any statement in Excel to turn it into a comment, so Excel will leave me alone. It's not going to act on it waiting for me for calculation since I started with the equal sign. All right, so okay, this is basically, it's going to be true. And if I have here true and false, it's going to be false, because no way you could get anything with and unless both of them true. If this is false and this is a true, it's going to be false. And if we have here false and of course false, it's going to be false. And just to complete the picture so I don't get you lost in the process, we're going to go ahead and copy this using the fill handle. So you know, and is a very limiting logical operator, meaning everything must be true before we could get a result. For example, here, if just to show you on the side, if I have say 9 greater than or equal to 2, that is true. Then if I say Jack equal Jack. You see, that's another true. Then I said capital A is equal capital A. Everything, even not necessarily two, everything in the cell, it must be preceded with the AND. You know, that's AND as a function in Excel. So everything must be true before we could get a true. And if that is, all of them are true, immediately we're going to get true. But if any one of them, let's say here I change this to B, and it's going to give me false because all of them must be true. So how are we going to do it with this enroll? We're going to go ahead and say, and this must be greater than or equal to 80, comma, that's the second condition. We only have two conditions, and this must be equal to yes. So this is the requirement for both. In order for me to get true, of course, I need to change the true and the false to something more meaningful than just a true or false. I'll go ahead and notice this one here is greater than or equal to 80, but it's not waiver, so this is going to be true and false. This is true, true. This is false, false. This is a true, true. This is false, true. This is a true, true. That's why we ended true. But usually when I actually do a logical operator, I like to include it in an if statement. So if the whole thing is a true, then we're going to go ahead and say yes, enroll. So this is much more meaningful. Other way, not this time. So you could put anything you want, not at this time. So basically, this would make it much more clear. So you see here, instead of having, I wanted to just take a look at it one more time so you could copy it. Maybe you could pause the video to see how it works. And here we go. Of course, we could copy this formula in the rest by double-clicking the fill handle, and here we go. So this is how AND work. In case we wanted to make the condition less restrictive, and now I'm going to say, what about if I only need one of those two requirements to be true for the whole thing to be true? Then I'm going to be thinking about another logical operator that is more inclusive, more relaxed, which is the OR. The OR, if you want to look at it the same way we looked at it previously with the AND, it's going to be the two set A and B. And here we go. I guess I'm not very much artistically inclined. And here we go. This is A and B. Everything here must be shaded in case, because any one part of A will be true, any part of B will be true. The only false we will get when we are out of both here, somewhere here. That's neither nor. So that will give me false. So for understanding what we call really the truth table for OR, it's going to give us, keep that in mind, one true will give me true. If I have two true, that's fantastic. Actually, that will work as well. So a true or true is a true or true is a true, and false or true is a true. Of course, the last one is false or false. That's the only false we get with OR. So in case, let me go ahead and delete this too. In case we wanted to, let's say here, this is the enrolled based on AND, and this is the enrolled based on OR. So in this case, if you take a look at it, this person is going to be enrolled because both conditions are true. This person will be enrolled because one of them, which is the 89, greater than or equal to 80, therefore he will be accepted. The same thing, these are both true. This is basically no, because both of them are false. This is both of them are true. One of them is true, the second one, and these are both true. So let's go ahead and write it. We're going to say or actually we need to go down a little bit. No, here. Or here we go, yeah. Or, yeah, we need to go down after all. Or, here we go. This is greater than or equal to 80. And this one also must be equal to yes. This must be equal to yes between double quotes, since yes is a text. And here we go. And of course, we could go ahead and say if the OR resulted into true, then the whole thing is going to be actually true. So enroll Otherwise, not this time, or not enrolled. No enrollment. All right, so this is basically, we're going to go ahead and see, changing the text a little bit. So here we go. Notice we have become much more relaxed with it. So almost all of them are enrolled except for one. You will tell me, do you have another logical operator for the sake of the discussion? I'll say yes. Not is a very powerful, but it's unary operators. That means only takes one condition in front of it. So if I say not true, as you notice, it's going to give me false. See that? And if I say not false, it will give me true. So what does the not exclude anything between here, and of course it's an exclusive operator. The other one that we could use when we have a restriction over some time when we don't need to have both of them true, so we'll refuse it. For example, if I have two people who are very well skilled in order to manage a conference, but I cannot afford having them both attending the same conference, I only can have one of them. And that's the only way we could really say it's true. Then instead of using OR, we're going to be using XOR. XOR is also a very powerful logical operator where we are going to use it to indicate that the only way we could get it true if we have only one true. So both of them are true are going to be false, and both of them are false, it's going to be false. So this is going to be false. So depending on the situation, as we all know, business dictate technology, and as we know, you need to be able to understand the problem-solving aspect of what you're trying to use Excel for. So the critical thinking aspect of solving a problem is that must come first. So let's go ahead and get an example here for the sake of completing our discussion. If I say here 9 is greater than a 3, that is a true. However, I'm going to go ahead and use XOR just to demonstrate the use of it, and I promise you we'll stop after that. So I'm going to go ahead and say 9 is greater than or equal to 8. That is true. And if I say here 9 is greater than or equal to 3, that's another true. As a result, it's going to give me false, because with XOR, only one of them must be true. So if I say here 31, it's going to give me true because one of them must be true. This will be used, as I said, in business a lot when you have to refuse a condition that require both a true or both false. Thank you so much for watching this. It's really been a pleasure to go through all this with you guys. I hope you will subscribe to my channel, and also I would like you to leave me your comments if you have any, and hopefully I'll be able to get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you 100 million times for watching my videos, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.